Welcome to your Yin increase hip flexibility practice. What you will need for your practice is all the props you get your hands on. With my Yin Yoga practices, I love to use everything we can use. So make sure you put your block strap ready and also some kind of a cushions or your bolster. We are going to start lying down in Shavasana. However, we are going to bring our knees up, walk our feet to the outer edges of our mat and bring our knees together. Bring both your hands somewhere onto your belly. Then just connect to yourself, setting intention for your Yin practice today. Yin is all about surrendering, letting go, finding your edge, and just being there in that space, in a complete stillness. So perhaps finding stillness may be your intention for today's class. We are going to be holding our poses anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. Make sure you find your comfort before going too deep into the pose so you can maintain the pose. Once you set your intention, flick your eyes open, cactus your arms, and slowly just move your knees from side to side. We are also going to be using a wall for the end of our sequence, so feel free to move away from your mat at the end of the sequence and find a wall. Beautiful. Bring both your knees towards your chest, bend the knees, inhale. Bringing both knees towards the right, move your hips towards the leg, finding a recline twist. Bring your right one on the outer edge of your left knee, gaze towards right, and hold here. Breathe. Taking a deep inhale, full exhales. When I practice my Yin practices at home, I tend to have all the layers on me. I like to stay warm during this practice. So socks, jumpers are always welcome. Using whatever it is that makes you feel truly, truly comfortable. With Yin practice, as I mentioned before, we're finding our edge. So finding our end range of movement and then just breathing into it for a prolonged period of time, surrendering. Saying that, I tend to encourage our clients and my yogis to start with a 60%. After around 1 minute, go into the 80% and only towards the end of our hold, maintaining and accessing the end range of their mobility and flexibility. The reason being is that if we go too far too quickly, we find ourselves moving, wiggling around, not being able to maintain the pose. And key here is to truly find a surrender, letting a stillness and silence to settle in. Taking 10 more breaths in this recline twist. See whether you can walk your shoulders away from each other a little more. Maybe as you go through from the pose to pose, see whether you can find your inner world. There will be moments of silence. It is a beautiful opportunity to investigate your inner world inside of your being, closing all of your senses in. Beautiful. Slowly coming back to the center, finding your cactus, bringing the knees to the center. Move your hips towards the right, knees towards the chest, and now both knees to the left side. Shimmer your shoulders away from each other. Left palm on the outer edge of your right knee for a beautiful recline twist. You find in a lot of yoga practices that this is the position where we finish our vinyasa flows or we finish our practice as one of the last poses, but I love to take a twist at the start of my practices, and especially at the start of a yin practices, to invite a deeper opening and this detoxification to our body. And especially after lying down or sitting all day, this is a beautiful way how to slowly open. So just checking in with yourself, how are you feeling today? Finding the surrender to the experiences, finding the surrender to just allowing yourself to be. Allowing all the emotions and thoughts to pop up, and then allowing them to just disappear. Last 10 breaths here. Move your jaw, releasing any tension, just being soft, being supple. Slowly coming back to the center. Finding your happy baby pose, so grabbing hold of the outer edges of your feet. Pressing the knees down, extending the back of your head, so pressing the crown of the head away from you. See that you can press the heels away from each other. And just be here, lengthening. Try to iron out all the wiggles in the first 30 seconds of our hold. And then just finding the full and entire stillness, surrendering. Allowing the gravity to do the job for you. There's nothing else for you to be doing. Just being here. In Yin practices, we work with our fascia. Fascia is a beautiful, magical netting in between our tendons, ligaments, and muscles. It's this invisible netting system which allows us to go deeper into our flexibility. So magic here, what really happens after the first minute of the hold, we're starting to open, we're starting to talk to our fascia. It's almost like you imagine this like a light layer of a jelly netting between your muscles. And after 2 minutes of the hold, the fascia starts opening, sliding along, creating more space in your body. We're halfway through. Breathe into your groins, breathe into your hips, just gently opening, letting the gravity to do the job. Last 30 seconds, just melting all the parts, lower, deeper. Finding more space, more opening. Allowing all the thoughts, all the feelings to just be part of this practice. Acknowledging them. And then letting them go like leaves fallen onto the river, passing by. Beautiful. Slowly bring the soles of the feet together, bring the knees together. And now just creating these circles with your knees together and apart. Together and apart, together and apart. Beautiful. IT bend stretch. Bring your left leg towards the ceiling, flex the left foot. Find number 4 position, so my sole of the foot is flexed, left knee away from you. Cactus your arms and now bring the left sole of the foot across the body, pressing the left knee up. What you will see, you should feel a lot of sensation opening here in the outer hip, here in your IT bend stretch. Just find it in and here and breathe here. knowing that every practice is another little drip in your ocean of abundance, of well-being, of love, joy, and this beautiful mobility and flexibility of your body. Nothing changes overnight or transforms overnight. So accepting that every practice is your step closer and closer to more happy life. Same like a bamboo tree. Imagine your practice to be just that. When you're trying to grow a bamboo, from the moment you put a seed into the soil, you keep waiting for something start growing. And there is nothing you can see in the outer world, the level above the soil, because all the growth, all the strengthening happens within, under the soil, where we can't see that. So for first 5 years of the bamboo's life, you simply see nothing. There is nothing to be seen. You feel like bamboo is not growing. And then on year 5, the magic happens and all the shoots of the bamboo start growing. And the growth is so fast. So let this be like your practice. Slowly changing the side, bringing the right leg up, finding a number 4 position, pressing the right knee away from you, and now finding the IT band stretch. To the other side, pressing the right knee away from you. So same like the bamboo, let all the initial changes in your practice to happen from within. In your mental state of being kinder, softer, gentler, more loving, more accepting of yourself and others. And as you keep practicing, as you keep returning to your yoga practice, meditation, breathwork, whatever it is that you love to be doing, your outer body starts transforming after the while. Same like a bamboo. Consistency and persistency is the key. So just breathing into the right side of our body, into right IT. But what I find is that more I press my knee away, more I feel it into the opening. So see and work with the sensation. Last few moments, last few breaths on this side. And now slowly coming back up. Windshield wipering our knees from side to side. And slowly rolling yourself back a few times, coming into a seated position. For the next pose, you may need one of your blocks, depending on how deep you want to be going into this exercise. Seated swan position. So we are going to start on to the left side, lifting the left leg up and finding number 4 position. This might be enough for you, flexing the foot. And closer, we bring our hips, more we feel this position in our left glute. There is a modification to be had if you wanted to step onto your block to take the intensity of the stretch little more, little deeper. So completely yogi's choice. I'm gonna use it without the block as I can feel already a lot in my left glute. Just remind yourself that we are holding this pose for around 2 minutes. So there is no rush to go 120% at the start. Just surrendering again, just close your eyes, finding stillness. Now as we are approaching our second minute, invitation is to take it deeper. So if you want to bring your leg on top of the block, you can definitely do that. Hold and breathe. Pressing both sit bones down. Beautiful. Slowly coming out of the position. Just moving your knees away and together, maybe windshield wipering again from side to side. And now just finding the other side, so starting with your right leg lifted up, finding your number 4 position, flexing both feet. Closer you come to sit towards your left heel, more deep the stretch will be. So finding what works for you. Closing your eyes once you find your edge or 80% of it. And just being here in this beautiful deep hip opening pose. A fierce warrior approach as Zen master, demanding all of his wisdom. The master asked the warrior to put his sword down. Put it down onto the ground. master said, "I cannot," said the warrior. "Why not?" asked the master. "Because it is my power, my protection, my identity." The master said, "Then your sword is your cage." It is not a tool. It is indeed a cage you put yourself in. The warrior hesitated and then gently placed the sword onto the ground. And in that moment, he felt lighter. He felt freer. And the lesson here is that we all carry our swords, our titles, roles, beliefs. But the true peace comes when we set all of them down, when we tap into the essence of our being, of who we truly are. For the last 30 seconds, just going deeper into your stress, you can use the block if it feels nice. If it is too much, don't use it. And then just breathe last and first. Beautiful. Slowly release and relax. Maybe bringing all your legs in front of you and just shaking them a little. And now finding your butterfly position. So bringing the soles of the feet together. Closer you bring your soles of the feet, more of the inner hip opening you're going. So invitation here to bring those heels as close as possible. Grab hold of your big toes with your index fingers. A little bit more difficult when we've got the socks on, but let's do it anyway. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, folding forward. And just holding here and breathing. See that you can try to keep your spine straight. I like to sometimes bring the bolster in front of me and then just place my hand on the top of the bolster, maybe even in this position. So you can find that support and lengthening and going deeper with something. So see what works for you and what kind of setting you may need. Many times we think that for our yoga practice we must have a great yoga mat, a beautiful space to practice, all the props we need. But in the reality you need really little. Maybe a blanket, something to sit on, using a pillow or a couple of books from your props. And the space you really need is the size of your yoga mat. There is not much we need to stretch our body to open, to connect to our practice. It is all of those excuses we find why not to practice, why not to do this, I don't have this, I need this to start. And more often than not, the hardest point is to start. So my invitation is to jump back into the space of your yoga practice. Choose any of my videos in your pajamas. I don't care, you shouldn't care. And just jump down onto the floor and stretch open your body. Do a meditation. Whatever it is that feels good in your body. Beautiful. Slowly coming up. Half straddle, half butterfly. So extending one of your legs, flexing the grip. I like to bring my balls in front of me. I also like to use my blocks, depending on how deep are we going to go, and just find that space to bow forward. So when you're ready, just come forward and come down, holding for a couple of minutes. There was a great oak tree standing proud in the vast forest. One day a bamboo trembling in the wind turned to the oak and said, I wish I could be as strong, as steadfast as you are. The oak replied, strength isn't always about standing tall and unbending. True strength is in flexibility. I stand here rigid and unmovable, and when the storm comes, the wind topples me, while you, dear bamboo, bend and sway, but never break. You will survive what I cannot. The bamboo realized that the true resilience comes not from resistance, but from adaptivity. Sometimes we need to bend with life instead of breaking against it. So just see where in your life you can invite more adaptivity now. Beautiful. Changing side, so bringing the left leg in, right leg out, and finding your heart straddle. The invitation here is to keep flexing the extended legs. So again, just coming down. Okay. Always adapting as one leg is more flexible than the other. adaptility sometimes comes also from letting go of other fear. There is this beautiful story I would like to share with you about the monk and the rope. Monk was once walking on the edge of the cliff and slipped and fell down. His rope got attached to the part of the cliff, keeping him to be held up, and the monk was tightly grabbing onto the rope, not letting go. He feared the fall, he feared to let go because he knew that if he would fall, he would die. So he cried out, "Help! What shall I do?" The voice answered, "Let go." But the monk hesitated. "But if I let go, I fall and I die." The voice again repeated, "Simply let go." Terrified but trusting, the monk finally released his grip, only to realize that he was just a few inches from the ground as he landed softly back on his feet. The lesson: fear keeps us clinging to what we no longer need. Fear keeps us rigid, set in our ways. When you trust and let go, we often find that we're safe all along. We find how to be more flexible, more adapting. We realize we've been safe all along. Beautiful. Slowly coming up, and now just we're going to take this position into the recline version. So using your wall, feel free to move your mat if you need to. Move your props on the side. Now we're gonna bring our hips as close to the wall. Bring our legs up onto the wall, and then slowly just open them to the side into a straddle pose. Again, using a gravity to help us open our body. Invitation here, you might feel quite a lot here in your glutes, in your outer hips, so don't go all the way deep into your 100%. Find your 60% and just stay there and let the gravity to do the rest. And let's meditate in this pose. Invitation here is to bring both your hands onto your belly, where we started today. Close your eyes. Let the stillness and silence to settle in. And just be present in this moment, meditating. letting your breath to be your anchor, just breathing, exhaling. There is nowhere else to be right now. You can just move your legs to go into a little bit more of the opening, adding another 10% to your range. We are using this position as a double benefit pose. Use it for next minutes as your shavasana, as well as a beautiful deep stretch, so opening your hands towards the sides, closing your eyes and just being here. Softly and gently closing your practice down. Coming back to the intention for your yin practice today. Finding and tuning into the pockets of stillness. Now slowly walking your legs back up. Maybe soles of the feet on the wall and gentle windshield wipe by your knees. You'll be feeling quite a lot now in your hips, so invite it all in. Now coming onto alongside of your mat for a mini shavasana because we can. Just closing your practice down. Bringing one palm onto your heart, one palm onto your belly. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let go. Deep breath in. Raspberry little. One last breath in. And as you exhale, smile. Because your beautiful yin hip opening, hips flexibility class is now concluded. Staying in your shavasana for as long as it serves you. And I can't wait to see you in one of the next practices. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.